Do you want to know what it feels like when a 600-pound white giant with claws like saws and teeth that can tear anything apart is just a few meters away from you? Well, then get ready, because there is no escape here and every move you make could be your last. This is the polar bear, the ruthless king of the ice. Well, before we get to the scary stories, let's first get to know the king of the Arctic a little. The polar bear is not just a big white animal. It's a living hunting machine with a muscular body and claws that can even crush bone. It can weigh up to 600 to 1,200 pounds and can stand up to 10 feet tall on two legs. This white giant usually lives on the polar ice, where it's like a natural gem for swimming and hunting seals. Bears are incredibly strong swimmers. Their hunting instinct is very sharp and they can move for kilometers in water or on ice in search of their prey. But now the situation is different. The ice is melting, food is scarce, and the bears are forced to move more on land. When they are hungry and weak, they no longer know whether they are facing humans or food. In short, if you ever set foot in the Arctic, you should know that you may encounter a white giant who has no mercy or compassion. Now get ready, because we're gonna go to the most real and terrifying attacks that polar bears have committed in recent years. But first, let me say something. If you haven't read carefully so far, give me a little like so that I know you're coming with me. The first battle took place on July 3, 2018 on Century Island, Canada. That sunny and summer day, Aaron Gibbons had gone to the island with his children to collect bird eggs. Suddenly, a hungry polar bear appeared and threatened the children. Aaron immediately shielded the children, but the bear was fierce and strong, and his claws and teeth quickly damaged them. The children fled the island screaming, although one of their companions managed to kill the bear with a gun, but disaster had struck. The incident was recorded by the local rescue team and a surveillance footage from the islands, and details of the bear's reaction and the children's escape can be seen in the photos and reports. The second battle took place in Norway, where the bear's encounter with several guards present was recorded by a ship's security camera and later used as a safety training for friends in the area. The story goes that the MS Berman ship's security team, while thinking that their situation was okay and everything was safe and sound, fell victim to a polar bear attack, because they were not expecting it all, and very suddenly a hungry and curious polar bear suddenly jumped out of its hiding place and attacked one of the guards. The man did not have time to react, and the bear severely injured him, and his claws left deep marks on his body. Therefore, the man's colleagues were forced to shoot the bear and kill it. The third battle in Canada. In this strange battle, a mother bear and a cub attacked humans without warning when they approached them, resulting in one hunter being killed and others being injured, everyone feeling the scene in panic. Later, authorities killed those bears to ensure the security of the area. The inmates of the fight were captured by surveillance planes and cameras from a local station, showing the location of the attack and the bear's reaction. The fourth fight also took place in the United States, and at the same time, some inmates of the attack were recorded by the village security cameras and published in news reports. The story goes that one cold winter morning, a polar bear entered a small village and attacked a mother and her one-year-old son. Panic and screams filled the entire village, but there was nothing anyone could do. And in the end, the people were forced to kill the bear with guns. The fifth fight, which took place on Canada too, Brevard Island, just a few years ago, was recorded because the radar station was equipped with security cameras and the scene of the bear's injury and the reaction of the employees. In fact, in this fight, a radar station worker encountered two polar bears. The bears quickly attacks him and attempts to defend himself with spray and limited toes were unsuccessful. The victim worker was injured and died as a result, while one of the bears was later killed by staff and another escaped and saved itself. The sixth battle took place in Longyearbyen, and all the scenes were recorded by the local documentary team and the camp's cameras, and today it is used as an educational resource. The story of this battle is that a Dutch man was injured by a polar bear in a tourist camp. Unfortunately, his friends were able to save his life. The bear fled after the fight, but was later found by the authorities and taken to the zoo. And now, let's move on to our 7th fascinating battle on Baffin Island, Canada. In this battle, 2 polar bears entered the tourist camp and attacked the locals. The first bear stopped quickly, but the second bear managed to injure a tourist and turn the camp environment into chaos. Images of the bears approaching were recorded by the camp's cameras and later published in environmental reports. And we have reached the last battle, or the 8th battle, on Ellesmere Island, Canada. If you have not liked the video yet, be sure to turn that white heart red and come with me so I can explain the story of this battle to you. In this battle, a hungry polar bear entered the research station and clashed with humans and equipment. Attempts to repel the bear with a spray and air rifles were unsuccessful, and several people were injured until the station's forces finally liked it after several human casualties. And since the research station had a video recording system, the details of the bear's attack were recorded on video. Finally, after seeing these 8 terrible battles, I have to say that look, polar bears are no joke. Whether hungry or curious, they can be deadly. So, whenever you enter the world of ice, be careful, have equipment, and don't violate safer rules. Because now that we have seen all these battles and encounters, one thing has become clear. The polar bear is not just a big, white creature that looks beautiful in photos, but a real giant of nature with a power that can threaten a person's life at any moment. Every attack, every wrong approach reminds us that the king of the ice does not play and is always ready to defend his territory or pursue food. This amazing creature is a combination of strange intelligence and survival instincts, and when you enter his territory, you should treat it with respect, caution, and even a little healthy fear. Moreover, these stories shows us that nature is never predictable and that no matter how prepared people are, they must always follow the rules of safety and distance. So, don't just look at the polar bear as a cute creature. Look at it as a master of survival whose every move has a great lesson for us humans. Well, my friends, in the end, let me tell you that if you're reading these stories and your heart is beating fast for this Ice King, give a like and share this story with your friends so that everyone knows that the polar bear is not just a funny creature. By the way, which of his battles has scared you the most? Be sure to tell me.